I think those are too much.
Yeah.
We're now streaming live on YouTube.
We're live on YouTube.
Lawn is turning green.
Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Just turning green.
Edwina. Hello, everyone. Shabbat shalom. Services are about to
Let it
begin,
die.
so I'm going to mute everyone, okay? Don't unmute yourself.
Hey,
My
Brenna.
mic is
You're
in the
talking
middle.
over you. Just mute him. Mute him.
I had to stop for a second because of an error, but it's back on YouTube. And we'll double check that it's recording in a
Yep,
second.
it's on YouTube. There it is. So it's on YouTube.
Okay, so go back into Zoom. You can X out of YouTube.
It's all delayed, isn't it?
Yes, it's
Okay,
gonna
so
be
wait a
delayed.
minute. Do this again.
X out of YouTube.
Okay, so but I don't I have to copy the link? You gotta go back here because we're just looking at ourselves. What did I do? Oh, sorry.
Hello? Hello? Hello?
Hello.
David, hang on there. I think they're trying to get this resolved.
Hi.
Cantor is muted.
Cantor, please unmute.
Yeah. You're all set now. What is the sound? Everyone else is muted. See, this is all the people see up here. Like, churches really share. See, like this, you know. And there's more, and there's it's all.
It appears to me that the cantor needs to unmute.
Up if you can hear me. Great. I should be the only one that you can hear. I hope you were able to hear my introduction. I'm not sure if you would. Please remain muted. Unmuting yourself is not going to help us during our service unless you are specifically asked to unmute. There is a new service packet for this Shabbat. It came to you in both of your weekly emails, but you're fine if you don't have it in front of you because our Jewish liturgy is keva. It is fixed liturgy. The prayers remain the same. I did insert some new readings for us to inspire us as we head into the spring. So you may hear, if you're looking at the older service, you're just going to hear a few different readings, and that's fine. You'll be able to catch us with the liturgy, meaning the different prayers. So those have not changed. So we're going to get started. We're going to start with a little Hine Matov, because how lovely it is for us to be here together this evening. I hope you can all see me and hear me. And right there on page 1 of our new service, just above the words Kine Matov, Adonai, bless me with courage. Help me to gain strength from you. Life has a way of handing us surprises that take an amazing amount of courage to overcome. Create in me a clear and steady focus, a heart that is filled with the awareness that Adonai is with me on the sunniest day and in the darkest night. I will be whatever life demands of me. Courage is my knowledge of you. On the right-hand side of your page, hold up. I'm seeing all these comments that you need me louder. Does everyone need me louder? Yes? Okay, I'm gonna walk to the sound booth and do that. I'll be back.
Hello, everyone. She's looking, but I'm just here to make sure that when she changes it, you all can hear me.
I can hear you very well right now.
Okay. There we go. We can hear it now. I'm echoing, but we can still hear it. All right, she's back.
We're good.
Stay unmuted though.
All right, remute yourselves. Oh no, I've got an echo. Why do I have an echo? It's not gonna work. Your computer. No, mute it. Mute you. Because I'm getting an echo from. Hear me now. I can only see 3 people on my screen, so I'm going to ask those specific 3 people. Tom Vick and Barbara and Ron Hood. Can you hear me? Great. that wine is a thing on Shabbat because I'm gonna need a cup after Let us sing unto God the maker of all, sure and strong. Let all the creation from mountain to sea hear our song. They're running on, for all the wonders and all God's might, we rejoice. So now let us listen with all of our hearts to hear God's voice. Let the morning run and All right, everybody, here's the deal. You can keep sending me chats, but all you're doing is distracting me. If you can't hear me at all, call Jean Myers. Is it like a not at all thing, or can you hear me and I'm just low? It's just low, right? Okay, everyone turn your volume up and please stop sending me chats about it, okay? we're gonna head over to page 2 and we're bringing in, I'm gonna ask them to unmute. We're celebrating a simcha tomorrow morning as Gigi Marks becomes bat mitzvah. So we're gonna head over now to the Smiller Marksowitz crew. We have Caroline Smilowitz and Rob Smilowitz, Gigi and Eli Marks, Margaret Miller and Justin and Bradley Smilowitz coming to you all together to light our Shabbat candles this evening.
Together. Okay, then I'll read it. As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu l'hadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Thank you, everybody. We're going to read together at the right below the candle lighting. We offer thanks, O God, for this Shabbat, which unites us in faith and hope. For Shabbat holiness, which inspires sacred living. For Shabbat memories glowing even in darkness. For Shabbat peace born of friendship and love, we offer thanks and blessing, O God. And let's head over now to page 3. as we welcome the Shabbat bride with the words of Lecha Dodi, the words of the mystics of Sfat. The middle of page 4. Oh God, you are as near as the very air we breathe, yet farther than the farthermost star. We yearn to reach you. We seek the light and warmth of your presence. So we say you are near, we are lonely and alone. Oh, let our desire be so strong that it will tear the veil that keeps you from our sight. Let your light release our darkness and reveal the glory and joy of your presence. And as we turn to page 5, we rise either in body or in spirit for our call to prayer, the Baruch Hu. ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Sher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of tide, of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Baruch atah Adonai hama'ariv aravim. Blessed are you, Adonai, from whom the evening flows. At the top of page 6, from Marcia Falk's Book of Blessings, hear, O Israel. The divine abounds everywhere and dwells in everything. The many are one. Loving life in its mysterious source with all our heart and our spirit, all our senses and strength, we take upon ourselves and into ourselves these promises: to care for the earth and those who live upon it, to pursue justice and peace, to love kindness and compassion. We will teach this to our children throughout the passage of the day as we dwell in our homes and as we go on our journeys from the time we rise until we fall asleep. And may our actions be faithful to our words, that our children's children may live to know. Truth and kindness have embraced, peace and justice have kissed and are one. We can be seated once more as we continue the bottom of page 6 with the words of the Ahavta. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha v'chol levavcha uv'chol nafshecha uv'chol me'odecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavcha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'veitecha uv'lechtecha v'derech uv'shochbecha uv'kumecha v'kshartam lehot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot bein einecha Uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha leman tizkeru va'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'tem kedoshim leloechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim Liot lachem lelohim, ani Adonai Elohechem. Continue at the bottom of page 7. The good in us will win over all the wickedness, over all the wrongs we have done. We'll look back at the pages of written history and be amazed, and then we will laugh and sing, and the good that is in us, children in their cradles, will have won. Our hearts beat with certainty that there is a day and an hour and a mountain called Zion, and that all of the sufferings will gather there and become song, ringing out into every corner of the earth from end to end, and the nations will hear it, and like the caravans in the desert, will all to that morning throng. The top of page 8. of page 8. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts, eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom aleinu v'al kol amo Yisrael v'al Yerushalayim. Blessed are you, Adonai, guardian of Israel, whose shelter of peace is spread over us, over all your people Israel, and over Jerusalem. We continue now on the middle of page 9 with Vishamra. Page 10, a little more than halfway down the page. We see the words, "A thought has blown the marketplace away." We begin with a nigun. Joy in the trees, Shabbat has arrived in the world, scattering a song in the silence of the night, and eternity utters a day, and eternity utters a day. we rise either in body or in spirit for tefillah. Adonai, Sfatai Tiftach, Ufi Yagi Tehilatecha. Adonai, Sfatai Tiftach, Ufi Yagi Tehilatecha. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avoteinu v'Imoteinu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah. El Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Rekonei Hakol, V'Zocher Chasdei Havot v'Imahot, Umevi Geula Livnei V'neihem, Leman Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer u'Moshiach u'Magen. Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'Ezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechayei hakol atarav lehoshia, Morid hatal, Mechakel chayim b'chesed, Mechayei hakol berachamim rabim, Somech noflim v'rofei cholim, Umatir hasuvim, Umekayem emunato, Lishenei afar. Michamocha ba'al givurot, Umido melach, Melech memit, Umechayeh, Umatzmiach Yeshua. V'nemanat halachayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai mechayei hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, U'kdoshim b'chol yom yehallelucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai ha'el hakadosh. Let's be seated once more. Continue at the top of page 12. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day, and may this day fulfill its promise. Praise to you, Adonai, who sanctifies Shabbat. Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat. We're going to turn over now to page 13 and head to the bottom, to a dreamer. Some dreams are things past, warm and wonderful, or sad or frightening. When we wake from them, we shake them off. Some dreams are in the present, shutting out the world around us and letting us drift on a cloud more than reality. And what dreams about the future, the dreams that are creative, imaginative, seeds of events to come? Those dreams don't deal with nostalgia or fear, nor do they keep us suspended in time or space, but they propel us into action. We need them. We need all three. We need the dreamers. Pity the minds that do not dream. And of course, one of the biggest dreams that we have, not just as a Jewish people, but of humanity, is the dream of peace. And on the top of page 14, you find the words for Shalom Rav. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha, Kasih Leolam. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha, Shalom Yisrael Chasim Leolam Tov B'necha Levanesh Et Amcha Yisrael B'chol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך Shalom Yisrael Chasim Leolam Shalom Yisrael Chasim Leolam Shalom Yisrael Chasim Leolam Shalom Yisrael Chasim Leolam Chasim Leolam Chasim Leolam. Take a moment now for our own silent prayers. Say shalom, bimromav, say shalom aleinu, v'yal kol Yisrael, v'yimeru amen. Shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imeru amen. Oseh shalom imronav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imeru amen. Oseh shalom imronav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imeru amen. Oseh shalom imronav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imeru amen. Our Torah portion this Shabbat is Shemini, the portion of the book of Leviticus which enumerates for us which animals are considered kosher and which are forbidden from eating. One of the greatest American Jewish heroes was Rabbi Joachim Prinz. He gave the opening address right before the Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. spoke at the famous March on Washington. But here's a quote of his that never made the history books. Rabbi Prinz once explained why he refrained from eating pork. He said, "It is a dietary predilection of my ancestors for which they frequently gave their lives." No doubt about it, pork has a negative reputation among Jews. What's one of the worst ways to insult a Jew? Call him or her a chazer, pig in Hebrew or Yiddish also. Tyrants used to torture Jews by forcing them to eat pig. In Maccabean times, the armies of Antiochus, the ruler of the Syrian Greek dynasty, the Seleucids, splashed pig's blood in the temple to desecrate it. Jews in Spain were called marranos, pigs. So yes, one reason for not eating pork is that Jews were tortured and forced to eat it. But there's more. Rabbi Jeffrey Salkin explains that avoiding pork helps establish controls and boundaries in life. He says not every appetite is worthy of being satiated. In this sense, Kashrut becomes a metaphor for life. The whole world is not mine. I cannot always spend money the way I want, say anything I want, abuse the earth according to what I think I want. Judaism is about making what we do every day into something holy. It's about our minds. And in this sense, it's also about our stomachs. Jewish life, in this sense, means sacrifice. It means the conscious curbing of our appetites. With this explanation in mind, I'd like to share with you an essay from a fascinating book that was published in 2013 called Unscrolled: 54 Writers and Artists Wrestle with the Torah. This particular essay is by David Sachs. He's a writer and journalist from Toronto. He's the author of a book called Save the Deli: In Search of the Perfect Pastrami, Crusty Rye, and the Heart of Jewish Delicatessen. It's an award-winning book that was hilariously dubbed an epic journey akin to the Odyssey, but with Rolaids. So here's his essay on Parshat Shmini. Okay, this all seems pretty straightforward. No pigs, shrimp, oysters, or mussels. Steer clear of the baby goats boiled in their mother's milk, not to mention eels and sharks, crocodiles and geckos, hawks and vultures, and the rock badger, and I'm guessing that you're also implying other badgers as well. Now here's a genuine product that's clearly on your hit list: Baconase, a spreadable mayonnaise touted as a condiment and dressing that tastes like the salted belly fat of the cloven-footed, hoof-parted, non-cud chewing swine that are clearly verboten, right there in Clause 11. It's made by J&D's, a food company based in Seattle whose slogan proclaims everything should taste like bacon. And it works to fulfill that commandment with products like bacon salt, bacon popcorn, bacon gravy, bacon lip balm, and bacon flavored envelopes, which are called envelopes. Sounds like Trafe City to me. Cue the fire, bring on the brimstone. Wait, can they hear me? Great. Wait, it's kosher? Certified by the Orthodox Union to be consumed with meat, dairy, and parve foods? Seriously? Okay, but how about the belly-crawling shellfish buffet ordered by the idolaters at Dynasty? Crab salad and lobster rolls fit for a Kenny Bunkport summer's lunch, and pink shrimp curled around a martini glass, mocking you from their horseradish spiked red cocktail sauce, colored the very fire of hell you're surely destined for. Kosher too? Certified by Kof K for consumption with all foods. Oh, come on. For close to 3,000 years, your chosen people have largely followed the dietary laws, avoiding the unclean creatures, making delicious brisket out of the clean ones, all while pretending you never really mentioned the whole edible insects thing. Locusts, crickets, and grasshoppers are perfectly kosher because they have jointed legs, though the fried cricket market of Crown Heights, Brooklyn, has yet to take off. Then, in the mid-20th century, some among your faithful realized that the devout were deprived. And like Soviets trading a month's supply of toilet paper for a pair of Levi's, they would pay handsomely for the illusion of transgression wrapped in the legal safe ground of kosher certification. Look, these people say, it's certified with the letter of the law, kosher as a matzah. What's the harm in eating a Whopper at the Kosher Burger King in Costa Rica, or McNuggets at one of the several kosher McDonald's in Israel? If eating a Reuben sandwich with kosher corned beef and a slice of soy-based cheese was a sin, wouldn't that be there in the Shmini? Wouldn't there be a clause saying that we shall not eat foods that pretend to be unclean even though they aren't? Decades from now, a bar mitzvah buffet at a kosher banquet hall will resemble a Roman feast. Once the tempeh tipping point is breached and test tube experiments with embryonic protein cultures yield remarkably tasty kosher animal flesh. We'll bypass the mock shrimp scampi wrapped in mock bacon and head straight for the mock alligator jambalaya, mock eagle egg sliders, and the pièce de résistance, an entire roast mock suckling pig, apple and all, carved with great flourish in an act of legally certified, morally questionable mockery that the devout will eat with a greedy ferocity, grease painting their lips as they turn to a shocked-looking elderly relative and say, "Don't worry, it's perfectly kosher." That's the end of David Sachs's essay. And in this essay, you can see that he creatively asked the question, why is it okay to eat things like fake bacon products? If we go out of our way to recreate the taste of bacon, what part of Kashrut are we observing? Eating artificial bacon may fulfill the commandment to not eat the actual pig. But according to Jeffrey Salkin's explanation that I read earlier, the loophole we jump through to get there negates that idea of self-control or self-sacrifice. Of course, many modern Jews are not concerned with the laws of Kashrut, but it is an interesting conversation regardless of personal practice. What is the true importance of Kashrut? Were the laws to keep us from truly unclean animals? Were they to keep the Jewish people apart from others? Or to help us establish some boundaries or self-control? And if we do not observe those laws, are there other ways we can make a similar impact on our lives? I have no answers for you tonight. I very much wanted to share that essay with you by David Sachs. And ultimately, the whole conversation is just something to chew on. Shabbat shalom. We're going to turn our thoughts now to those who are in need of healing. We pray for family, friends, members of this congregation, and for everyone who is injured or ill in body or in spirit. Give strength and purpose, unflagging energy, and deep wells of patience to all who seek healing, and to their caregivers, family, and friends. As I read our Congregational Mishaberach list this evening, please go ahead. If you have names to add, you can enter them into our chat box now. Our congregation is especially thinking of Carol Babcock, Donna Berlin, Rosalie Teddy Bono, Cantor Joel Bressler, Dr. David Cassius, Tom Davis, Devorah Bott-Rachel, Helene Edwards, Art Fields, Amanda Giramita, Jim Grant, Mary Hartman, Robert Kay, Marilyn Levitt, Teresa Levy, Joe London, Barbara McDonald, Moshe David Ben-Yeda, Gary Nadler, Naomi Nagel, David Osofsky, Laura Osofsky, Buddy Pollock, Jean Posen, Joyce Racklin, Randall Rout, Sandra Resnikoff, Alex Rosin, Stephanie Sibilia, Ruthie Silver, Ron Sohn, Bernice Tobias, Lois Van Alstine, David Van Alstine, Ruth Van Alstine, Judy Van Gorder. And we add to those names this evening Sally Constein, Laura Dill, Evelyn Seltzer-Kahn, Lisa Eisenberg, Sharon Conway, Mark Kimler, Lori Kurland, Bruce Emanuel, Lisa and Andrew Emanuel, Katie Kruger, Elaine Powell, Sandra Spear. And for all of those whom we've named aloud and those we hold in our hearts, we join together with our Misha Berach on page 16. We turn now to the middle of page 17, and we rise either in body or in spirit for the Aleinu. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'teid gidul ha'leotzeh bereshit, shelo atzanu kigoyei ha'aratzot, velo samanu kemishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, v'gor aleinu kechol hamonam. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. May we gain wisdom in our lives overflowing like a river with understanding. Loved each of us for the peace we bring to others. May our deeds exceed our speech, and may we never lift up our hand but to conquer fear and doubt and despair. Rise up like the sun, O God, over all humanity. Cause light to go forth over all the lands between the seas, and light up the universe with the joy of wholeness, of freedom, and of peace. Adonai echad, u'shemo, u'shemo, u'shemo echad. You can be seated once more. Page 18. Do we ever really say goodbye? Remembering is a gift. We treasure our wonderful memories. Our sad memories are softened by the passing seasons. We'll always remember those who were a part of us and share those memories with those who now share our lives. We honor and remember the ones we have loved and who are no longer with us physically, but are here with us in spirit. We love them, we think of them, we remember them. There are tears in our remembering, but there are smiles as well. So we never really have to say goodbye to those we love because they live in our hearts and minds forever. We give thanks. Remembering is a gift. We give thanks. Their lives were a blessing. We give thanks for what we had. We give thanks for what we have. With our Kaddish prayer, we thank you, God, for life and love. As I read our congregational yahrzeit list for this Shabbat, if you have a name that you would like read that is not on our list this evening, please go ahead and enter it into the chat box now. Members of our congregation are observing the period of Shiva for William A. Shedlin. In the month of Shloshim, for Myra Dubrovkina, Lois Zoller, Howard Enzel. In this Shabbat, we observe the yahrzeit of Bertha Adler, Murray Alpern, Dylan Ash Huxold, Antonia Aucello, Sarah Bloomfield, Blanche Krieger, Isidore Crystal, Murray Golding, Dr. Jacob Green, Morris David Greenberg, Morton R. Hirschberg, Max Jaffe, Elsie Katz, Solon Klepper, Dorothy Isaac Krapf, Bernard Marco, Kathleen Moss, Ruben Moss, Louis Newman, Anna Casa O'Brien, Barbara Palev, Bernard Rosenberg, Thelma Rosenberg, Jack Rosenberg, Irving Silber, Morton Silverstein, Annie Sering, Sam Witten, Jean Witten, Abraham Zimmerman. And we add to those names this evening, Mrs. Jean Munchik. For all of those whom we've named aloud, and those who we hold in our hearts, who we remember always, we rise together as a community for the Mourner's Kaddish on page 19. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah. Be'alma divrach yurutei v'yamlich malchutei. V'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael. Ba'agala uvizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevarach le'alamul almei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh. V'yithadar v'yithalev v'yithalal shmei dekudsha berichu. Le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata. Da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shalama Rabbah min shamaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Say shalom bimromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the one who makes peace on high make peace for all of us, for all those who mourn. And we say together, amen. Please be seated. And it's my privilege now to invite member of our Board of Trustees, Oleg Fortune, for our announcements this evening.
Hello, Shabbat Shalom. We continue to worship, learn, and engage with our community virtually on Zoom, and now starting in person, Saturday Shabbat services by reservation. A big mazel tov to Gigi Marks, who becomes a bat mitzvah. On Saturday, April 10th, Torah study with Rabbi Goodman at 9 a.m., Shabbat morning worship with Canterbury and Gigi Marks at 10:30 a.m. On Sunday, April 11th, Yom HaShoah observances, a community-wide observance hosted by the Jacksonville Jewish Center at 4 p.m. On Monday, April 12th, Introduction to Judaism with Canterbury at 7 p.m. Tuesday, April 13th, Wisdom will be held with Goldie Lansky at 10:30 a.m. On Wednesday, April 14th, Our Families, Ourself, New Rituals for New Life Stage with Rabbi Address at 7 p.m. And Thursday, April 15th, Difficult Conversations, Crucial Conversations with Dr. Leslie Kaplan at 7 p.m. These temple events can be found online in our Week at a Glance, the Temple Times, the Temple website, and the Messenger. Temple is seeking guest presenters to lead wisdom discussions. If you have Jewish wisdom or stories to share in an open discussion forum, we'd love to hear from you. Wisdom classes are held on Tuesdays from 10:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Email Mary Ellen Hathaway if you are interested in facilitating a wisdom discussion. You can catch our social media postings on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and check out our YouTube channel at thetempleJacks.org for recorded services and programs. And on behalf of Stacy and I, we wish you a Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you, Oleg, and Stacy, Shabbat Shalom as well. So for Kiddush and Motzi this evening, are we heading back over to the Smiller-Markowitz crew?
Yes.
Fantastic.
The icebergs are here. I want to pass the four for y'all. Pass down even.
Oh, you have all the Weisbergs with you.
You do.
Got it. Hi, everybody. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
There we have Dan and Andrea Weisberg and Sarah and Aaron and everyone over there is going to lead us in Kiddush and Motzi. Take it away.
Oh, the four that were right here was great. The four that were right.
Did you give me wine, Mother?
We're live.
Okay. Oh, let's go. Ready?
All right, do it.
Wait, what?
Do it.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Amen.
Amen.
Is it long? Just refuse your wine.
Does anyone know the long one over there? Do you only know the short Kiddush?
Anyone know the long Kiddush over here?
Do not know.
How about if we all do it together?
Do it.
Yeah,
So we're
do
going to
it.
pick up where you left off. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho b'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit ki hu yom techila lemikra kodesh zecher letziat mitzrayim Kivanu amarta, veotanu kidashta, mikol hamim, v'shabbat kodshacha, ve'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu, baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh hashabbat. L'chaim. Oh, right. Do you all have a challah over there for Motzi? Challah. Fantastic. Take it away. This one's the short prayer, I promise.
We give thanks to God for bread. Our voices rise in songs together as our joyful prayer is said. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
Amen. B'tei avon. There is nothing quite like the floating challah in front of the screen. I'm so excited that tomorrow morning we're going to have all of you in here with in the sanctuary with us celebrating as Gigi becomes bat mitzvah. So this was just a taste of things to come. And it's good to see all of you. Shabbat shalom. Thank you so much. We're going to head over now to page 21 for the Tfilat Haderech. It's our traveler's prayer, a prayer we say whenever we're heading out on a journey. But as we've said before, much of life is a journey, and it tends to feel every day like we're embarking on something new. And blessings in abundance are always a wonderful thing to have. So let's bless each other with these words. May we be blessed as we go on our way. May we be guided in peace. May we be blessed with health and thank everyone for your patience tonight. I guarantee we will work through all of the sound and visual kinks that we can bring to you, meaningful prayer experiences. Thank you for joining us for worship this evening. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom, everybody.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shalom. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom, everybody.
Shalom, everybody. Have a great great week.
All right, I'm leaving.
Well.
Hello.
I hope everybody has the.
That's gotta be the worst song I've ever heard.
Unreal. It was unreal. Oh my goodness.
He said he which one said I can't take it. Hung up. You gotta, I went to Rabbi Cohen for a while and I came back and I should say to Rabbi Cohen.
Well, the sermon was easy to hear.
Anytime she sang, okay, you couldn't hear it.
I think it had something to do with the guitar and she was pushed back further away from the microphone.
I think you're right.
And I've been talking with Gene most of the time, so he's aware of when we could hear her and when we couldn't.
Good.
They're trying to get everything synced so they can do services and Zoom and streaming all at the same time. So tonight was the first time they were trying to do that, and they have some work ahead of them.
I hope they get it worked out because it'd be wonderful.
Yes, it would be.
I hope everybody knows there's a change in the Zoom for tomorrow's Torah study.
What?
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. Thank you, David.
What's that? You know that?
Shalom.
Shabbat shalom, y'all. Have a good weekend.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom, everyone.